Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ali Leering, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my top rush tips that hopefully will help everybody that is looking to go through primary recruitment in the fall or in the future. If you're new here, my name is Ali, as I just said, and I go to the University of Alabama, where I rushed in 2020, which was the year of COVID, so I didn't really get to experience the normal sorority recruitment, but I do have a lot of friends and that are in my sorority that did go through, and I rushed people as part of my sorority, like when talking to the people who were going through recruitment in the previous years. So I do have a lot of tips that I think will be good for everybody, and that will hopefully help and give you some good advice when you are going through recruitment. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before I start going over all of the tips that I thought of, I am going to quickly explain the sorority recruitment process. First of all, I do think that these tips are pretty generalized for many different schools, and like I do go to an SEC school, so it's like huge on Greek life, and a lot of these tips I think will only apply to Alabama, but most of them are pretty like generalized, so I hope they'll help wherever you decide to go to school. Beginning the process, the first round, as you could say, is convocation, and convocation is one night, and it usually involves you meeting your rokai groups and getting all of your shirts and stuff that you'll be wearing for the week, and meeting the people in your rokai group and getting like all the information, like I think the Greek chic packet, which I'll talk about later. So that's convocation, and then it's open house round, and open house round actually moved online from COVID, and they kept it that way. So now open house round is completely online, and then it moves into philanthropy round, where you start to go to the houses. So there are 18 sorority houses on Alabama's campus. So for philanthropy, you will go to your houses that you get back, and you will learn about their philanthropy. Like my sorority's philanthropy is the Alzheimer's Association, so that's when they will tell you about their philanthropy and why they love their philanthropy. So the next round is sisterhood round, and sisterhood round is a little bit longer, and this is the round where the sororities will tell you why they love their sisterhood so much and the people in it, and basically you will go around, and this is where you will start dressing up a little bit more, like boutique style dresses, which I'll talk about dressing, the like dress tips and everything a little bit later in the video. And then the next round is preference round, and that one is the longest round. It is the last stage before bid day, which is super exciting, and this is the round where you basically are picking between your top 2 or 3 houses. So then after preference round, we have bid day, obviously, where you will go, I don't know how it works at all schools, but Alabama, you go to Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is where our football team plays, and you will go and open up your bids with everybody in the stadium, and then you will be able to run home to your new home. So it's so exciting. Well, now that I've explained all of the rounds, let's get right into the tips. So tip number 1 that I have is to take time at night to utilize doing self-care or anything that will really keep your energy levels up. Like I definitely like to do face masks, or like anything that I really enjoyed, like eye masks or something at night, just to help keep my energy levels up for the next day. And also you want to stay hydrated throughout your days, because it does get very hot, at least in Alabama. It is very important to keep hydrated. Tip number 2, they give you a Greek chic book during convocation, which, or actually I think this might be a little before convocation, but it basically tells you for each round how to dress, like the do's and don'ts of each round. So definitely listen to that, but I'm pretty sure I'll like talk through each of the rounds. Basically, you want to be dressing pretty classy and cute, but don't change your style. Like, be true to who you are and dress the way you want, because no sorority is going to pick you based on how you dress. Like, it's not like superficial. You want to dress how you like, but also adhere to the rules and regulations of each round. So if you are supposed to be wearing a sundress one day, don't show up in like shorts or a t-shirt, you know. Just dress within the rules, but dress how you like. So with that being said, I'm gonna go through each round and basically tell you the outlines of how they expect you to dress. So for convocation, that is pretty casual. You could wear whatever you want, really, shorts and t-shirt. And then open house round is online now, so at least at Alabama it's online, so I just pretty much wore whatever I want. It didn't really matter, because you just watch videos of each of the houses and grade them in your room. Like, it's not like you're going anywhere. So literally however you want to dress for that round. And then philanthropy round, that's when you start to wear the shirts that they give you. So like, they'll give you pan-Hellenic shirts that you wear on philanthropy days, and then just some cute shorts. I think I wore like Lily Pulitzer shorts with a t-shirt, and then some like cute shoes. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, like anything at all. But next is sisterhood round, and that's when you want to wear like dresses, like boutique dress style. I wore like cute little dresses that day, and that's when I started wearing wedges. So that's when you want to start dressing up a little bit more. And then preference round would be like more of a wedding style dress, so you want to be a little bit dressier that day. A lot of people like to say to wear white on preference day, but I don't think that's really I don't think you should wear white. I think it's important to like stand out. The whole concept of wearing white, I don't even know where that came from, but I think you should wear something that you like and that you would feel comfortable in, and not do what everyone else is. That's my little tidbit. But anyways, and then bid day is obviously what, like a shorts and a tank top, very light, because when you run home to your new house, you're going to be given a bid day jersey that you're gonna have to put on over whatever shirt you're wearing, and it is very hot in Alabama, so very light layers is very important for bid day. Tip number 3 is to utilize your rush bag to your advantage. So basically, for your rush bag, you want to bring a bag that you don't care if it gets dirty or wet, because you are going to be leaving it outside of the houses while you go in. So you don't want to bring a cute like designer bag or anything that you care about if it gets dirty or not. So you're just going to want to bring something that you don't mind if it gets a little dirty. In your bag, I would recommend keeping a reusable water bottle that is filled with water, because again, you want to stay hydrated during rush. You want to bring a fan. It's so important because it's just so hot and you're sweating and walking between houses. It's gonna be important to like cool off. So I recommend bringing a fan in your bag. And then blotting sheets are also good. And then I would say mints, because they're very easy. Just pop one in. Even if you don't think you have bad breath, you're talking a lot, your mouth will get dry, and you just want to have good breath when you're talking to people, because you're usually pretty close to each other. So mints, just pop them in between rounds and you're good to go. And then I would also recommend a change of shoes between rounds, because when you start wearing wedges and heels, you're going to be standing a lot in the houses and your feet could start to hurt. Also, if you have to run from one end of sorority row to the next between rounds, that's like pretty far walk, and I think it's faster to pop on some sandals or some flip-flops to walk over there and then pop your heels back on before you go into the house, which will save you time and a lot of feet pain. So shoes are a good one to bring in that as well. And that's it for tip number 2. Tip number 3 is when you're in the houses talking to the girls, you should think about topics that will make you stand out from everyone else. Like if you were, say, an equestrian in high school, talk about that. If you did something cool that would make you stand out from everybody else, talk about that. They want to hear what you like, what you do, who you are, basically. So just make sure to tell them if you have anything cool. Also, if you love the house, make sure you tell them, because I know people who just assumed that the house knew that they loved it and they didn't get chosen back because the houses just didn't know where they stood, and would much rather take back somebody who's visibly told them and expressed how much they love the house than someone who hasn't. So make sure if you like a house to let them know. You can do this by literally just saying, like, I'm so happy that this house was on my schedule this morning, I'm so happy to be back here, stuff like that. Just let the house know that how you feel about them. So during preference round, you're more likely to get your top house back by doing that. So tip number 4 is to research each sorority, because every sorority on Alabama's campus has a different price range, but they're all pretty expensive in like the few thousand range per semester. So I'd probably research each house and their costs beforehand if you have to save up for them, because I know that for me, I have enjoyed my sorority experience so much, and I would 10 out of 10 say it's worth the money. So definitely try and save up beforehand, because they do get pricey. I know some people that went through recruitment and got to preference round and had to drop out because they couldn't afford the sorority or didn't realize how much they actually had to spend to be in the sorority. So definitely look into it beforehand and save up early. So like start saving now so you have money when the time comes. If you're rushing in the fall or next year, in a few years, like start saving now so you'll be ready for when the time comes. So a lot of people ask if it's worth it, and for me, as I just said, it is worth it. I have enjoyed my sorority experience so much, and I love the girls in my sorority, but it definitely depends how much you put in, like depending on if you go to the events, if you participate, if you go to the house to study, if you go to the house to eat your meals there, if you go to the events, if you go to date parties, if you go to all these different things, I would say it's definitely worth it. But if you aren't going to the events, like if you're busy or if you just don't go, I don't think it's worth the money. But I've made some of my best friends in my sorority, so I've loved my experience so much. Okay, so the next tip I have for you guys is to stay true to yourself and your values throughout the whole rush process. I know, so if you stay true to yourself and dress how you like, talk about what you like, you will end up where you want to be. And I know a lot of people say trust the process, and it's very important, because you'll realize once you are actually going through rush how important it is to trust the process, because the whole process of picking between which houses are your favorite, the sorority houses are doing the exact same thing, and it's kind of a process of like they pick their top people and you pick your top houses. So when you get to the end, you're hopefully getting a house that matches with your values and what you want out of it. And you have to remember, this is a lifelong commitment. So even if you you're gonna be in this house for the next 4 years of college, and after that it'll be your alumni events, your alumni clubs and stuff like that. So you want to enjoy where you end up and what house you're in. So just be true to yourself and you will end up where you're supposed to be. Also, I want to advise you to not go on Greek Rank. It is an awful website. It is just not true at all. Like, the things that are posted on there are posted by like middle-aged women that are like not happy with themselves and they just want to start fights with college people. Whatever you do, do not go on Greek Rank. It is not true at all. And yeah, that's my tip for that. The next tip is I'm going to advise you to make friends in your rokai groups. So your rokai groups are the groups you're in based on your last name that will go through recruitment with you. Make sure to make friends with the people in your rokai groups, because even if they don't end up in your sorority, pan love is still a real thing and it's very important. I have friends in other sororities on my campus and I love them so much. So make sure to make friends where you can and utilize your rokai groups. Next step is to utilize your rokai leader, because they have basically disaffiliated with their sorority to be able to help you have the best experience going through primary recruitment as you can. They will be able to give you unbiased opinions on each sorority house. Your rokai will be there for you and help you sort through your feelings throughout this entire process, so definitely be sure to talk to her and utilize her to the best of your ability. Tip number 9 is to make your Instagram public if you haven't already, because I know the actives, who are the girls that are already in the sorority, the actives love to go and look through new PNM's Instagrams, and a PNM is just a potential new member. So the girls basically going through recruitment. But yeah, the actives love to go through PNM's Instagrams and see what they're up to, see what they're doing. But with that being said, make sure that your Instagrams are kept classy and cute. So you don't want any underage drinking posted or any posts that shouldn't be on Instagram, basically. So just make sure it's kept classy and make it public, because I do know that I love looking through the new girls, the new PNM's Instagrams, and seeing what they're up to, seeing if they're having fun and like all that fun stuff. So definitely try to make your Instagrams public. Tip number 10 is to not take drops seriously. So basically a drop is when a sorority house doesn't invite you back for the next round, and sometimes that can happen, and I'm not gonna lie, it is not fun, but try not to take them seriously. The sorority houses aren't gonna drop you for anything superficial, like they didn't like the color of your dress or your nail color or anything like that. It's not like that. Sometimes they just don't work out, and you don't want a house back that doesn't want you, so try not to take it personally. And I promise you, you will end up where you were meant to be. The last tip I have for you guys is to have fun during your process. It's a really fun time. I really enjoyed my recruitment experience and the times I have been a recruitee in the past and talking to all the new girls and meeting them. It's so fun. You get to make so many new memories and new friendships in these houses and in your rokai groups. So definitely try to have fun throughout the process and try not to be too stressed about it, because it can be stressful at times, but it's important to still have fun during it. Sending all the most amazing vibes to everybody going through recruitment this year and in the future, and I hope you all have a wonderful recruitment process. Please make sure, if you liked this video and if you thought it was helpful, to like it down below and subscribe to my channel. It really supports my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.